couple other things here. I mentioned Sean Payton with the Broncos. Is that going to happen? Does he want the job? It's reported that Russell Wilson wants him, but this was what came out. I'm not sure how long ago. I think this morning. The Panthers are no longer an option for Sean Payton. This is Mark Maskey, who covers the NFL for the Washington Post. And there was an issue with Payton's interview with the Broncos. Payton likes the idea of coaching Russell Wilson and having that defense, but fears a potential power struggle with a member of the ownership group, source said. Sean Payton then tweeted, "Zero truth to this. We had a fantastic visit, and Broncos ownership was fantastic." Not one, but two exclamation points there. Okay. Well, those are very, very conflicting reports. Everything went great. Okay. Does Sean Payton want to coach? Because I've said this all along, I think you want to be wooed. I think you want somebody to be interested in you. You want to learn about these teams. He's got options. But it feels like teams are, Frank Reich just got hired by Carolina. Does Sean Payton want to coach? He wanted the Cowboys. He wanted the Chargers, reportedly. Those aren't open. Go back into TV. You don't want to take a job just to take a job if you're Sean Payton. But, you got to factor in a few things here. Russell Wilson, that situation in Denver, okay. Offensive-minded guy. Is that why, hey, I can make magic here? They got money. They're going to pay me $20 million a year. Okay. Why isn't it done already? I mean, how long does it take if you interview a couple of people and then all of a sudden you say, all right, and Sean Payton's our next head coach. Dan Quinn, the Cowboys defensive coordinator, said he's staying in Dallas. Now, I don't know if it's by choice, but he was getting interviews. I didn't know if he was going to go to Denver, but I wonder if he did turn down Denver. Now, this is 2 years in a row that he's been a very, eligible candidate here. He's decided to stay in Dallas. But I wonder if he goes, I don't want to coach Russell Wilson. And he was on the Seahawks coaching staff when they went to the Super Bowl. He was defensive coordinator there under Pete Carroll when Russell Wilson was there. But to go back to Dallas, unless Jerry Jones said, hey, stay here, I'm going to pay you well, and if there's an opening down the road, then, you'd be my first guy. But then this is what I don't understand about that, because Mike McCarthy then came out and said the endorsement by Jerry Jones is he wants me to coach as long as Tom Landry did. Well, Tom Landry coached 29 consecutive seasons in Dallas. How old would that make Mike McCarthy? Like 85? That's not good. Yeah, Paulie?
And it would have been 30 for Tom Landry if Jerry Jones didn't come around.
Wow. Ouch. Yeah.
Too soon?
But I wonder, did Dan Quinn want to coach Russell Wilson? Does Sean Payton want to coach him? And you got new ownership in there. Are they going to be, hey, we know football, we want to be involved in all of this? But it sounds like ownership wants to be more involved, and that would make me nervous if I'm Sean Payton. But Dan Quinn's going to stay, and going back to Dallas, even though some of your assistants got fired for that defense, but Dan Quinn, here's another thing. Whenever you think of the Patriots and the comeback against the Falcons, if I said right off the bat quickly, who was the head coach of the Falcons? You might go, oh, well, Kyle Shanahan was.
Because he blew that lead.
He helped them get to 28-3. Dan Quinn was the head coach. The two people get blamed for that meltdown, Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator. Well, Dan Quinn, defensive-minded head coach, people forget that he was the head coach there. Imagine if he had won that game. He'd still be coaching the Falcons. He'd be a hero. Matt Ryan winning a Super Bowl, beating Tom Brady, is going to be a Hall of Famer for sure. He was MVP that year. But it's Kyle Shanahan's play calling. I think, Marvin, would you check this, or maybe we could have our stat guy. the number of running plays that the Falcons had in the second half and the number of running plays the Patriots had in the second half. Because that was my problem. Take some time off the clock. Squeeze Brady a little bit more. But, those last plays that they had where you could not get sacked and they got sacked. Well, Kyle Shanahan's the offensive coordinator. Dan Quinn's the head coach. Yeah, Paulie.
The Falcons were up 28-20 with 3:56 to go, and Matt Ryan took a sack. And any other play would have worked. They could have gone up 2 scores.
Oh, my God.
If he had thrown it away or run the ball up the middle, you kick a field goal, and you're up 2 scores with as low as 3:20 left in the game.
Julio Jones has one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history that nobody's going to remember. Because had that catch led to a field goal that led to a Super Bowl win, we would be trumpeting that. But it's like the catch, was it Curse for Seattle?
Yep.
Had an unbelievable catch right before the interception with Russ. But all right,